What's up, what's up? This is Joey Blush Response, and today we're taking a look at the Industrial Music Electronics PISTON HONDA Mark III, my favorite wavetable oscillator for Euro Rack. Let's get right into it. So we got the PISTON HONDA here, and one of the cool things about it is you can load your own waveforms, and I have made an entire bank of new waveforms for it that we're going to listen to today, and they will be available for my Patreon subscribers. This is the Mark III version, and the PISTON HONDA has been around really since the early days of Eurorack. When I first got into it, it was one of my first modules because it was, I think it might have been the only wavetable oscillator around at the time, the Mark I, and it's still one of the best. Each version of this has been a bit different from the one previous, and just as good. So if you get a 1, a 2, or a 3, you're gonna do great no matter what you do, but my personal favorite is the 3. So I've got it going through a filter and the mimeophone, you know, because that's how I like to roll. So we can start right off the bat. We're only monitoring oscillator 1. It's a dual oscillator, and you can do, you know, wavetable scanning. I really think made some interesting waveforms for this. Now, the cool thing about the PISTON 3 is it's dual oscillator, of course, so you can do FM between the two. Which instantly opens it up for all different kinds of stuff. Ooh. Oh, fuck. Alright. Yeah, already somewhere great, see? I gotta say, this is my favorite wavetable oscillator, and it has been since I got the first one. Oftentimes I think of having a full Harvestman / industrial music electronic system. I think it would be cool. Yeah, okay, and so now the thing about the PISTON Mark III is you can do a few things in the menus. First off is you can save presets and you can morph between them, which is super cool. But you can also, there's this tone parameter here, and what it does is you have 4 different modes. So the first one is orthodox. That's what you hear. Then you go to degenerate, and this is a bit crusher. So you can hear you have a bit more aliasing there. And you go to problematic, and problematic, you see there's no bit crusher, but when you morph between the waveforms, the transitions are harder. See if we go back to orthodox. Now problematic. Much more harder cuts. Do you really hit there? One more time. A little smoother. And then the final mode is pathological, which combines the bit crushing and the hard wave transitions. So you get a lot of that really serious weirdness. If you'd like. Back to a sine wave. FM it. Proper through 0. Thank you, good sir. So the through 0 FM is a really nice bonus, I gotta say, and really takes it to another level. And of course, you can use these CV inputs to modulate the FM amount. Okay, so go back to orthodox. The other thing you can do is you can do unison, and you can also detune the 2 oscillators from each other. So you could do up to 4 voices unison. And to me, this is where you start getting that magic, because for me, wavetables, you gotta have a bit of that phasing. And you know, the Waldorf XT is one of my favorite wavetable synths. and it always had that sound. It had this chorus built into the amp section, which no one seems to talk about. And as far as I know from Scott, he was really going for that kind of hard, rough, digital wavetable tone of the Waldorfs, but also the Prophet VS. And I haven't actually played a Prophet VS, but I have played the PPGs, I have played the Waldorfs, I have an EMU Emax, which can do somewhat wavetable sounding stuff with its spectrum synthesis, and this to me, it gets the vibe right. Okay, so we're just hearing Oscillator 1. Now we go to the mix output. We press link. Now they're detuned. And so we made Oscillator 1 a Unison. We can do the same for Oscillator B, but we can also detune them in octaves. Great for FM. We can also do the detuning, the Unison, I mean. So now we have 8 oscillators. I'll bring it an octave down. Some big, seriously nice fat to tune shit. I live for this kind of stuff. I'm all about this. There's a track of mine called Convert Hostile Elements into Willing Servants on my album Fissures in the Megastructure, and at the very end you can hear me fucking with the piston and this FM in the detune mode. All about that shit. A little bit of reverb, delay. Sweep that filter. And it's the Erica Synths Polyvox filter, by the way. Which is awesome filter. Industrial Music Electronics also makes a Polyvox filter. I have the Erica one, but I A-beat it. They sound the same to me. Bandpass mode. I'm actually using the Polyvox one intentionally because they make a Polyvox filter. So I want to keep it a bit consistent. I also have this going through the Polyvox VCA from Industrial Music Electronics. And then later I'm going to bring in the Stilson Hammer Mark II, sequencing that. So back to the oscillators. Let's start bringing in some wavetable modulation. Oh, yeah, see, with that Unison, detune and stuff, it's really special sounding. Bringing in modulation from the Industrial Music Electronics Kermit, which is also really cool wavetable, LFO, VCA, sample and hold, random source. It does a bunch of stuff. It does it really cool and crazy. Just listen to those wave sweeps. The cool thing is you have separate outputs for oscillators A and B, so you could do this in stereo. But now, the big... Look at that wave morphing, by the way. I love that. Live for that. The big thing about the Mark III Industrial Music Electronics units is that they have preset saving and preset morphing. So if I enter here, I'm on preset 1. Which sounds fucking crazy, by the way. And you can, of course, switch between them. And we'll do that with some modulation. So you get these hard cuts. Which is fucking sick. But then you could do morph mode. Now, if that's not the fucking most insane shit you ever heard, then why are you here? Love that. And that's in all the Mark IIIs. The Kermit, the Hertz Donut, the Bionic Lester, everything is got. That's some next level shit right there. It really doesn't get much better than that for me, and I could listen to that, I could live in that world. Like, I would release an ambient album of 30 minutes of that, and you know, just tweak the reverb a bit, and I'm happy. But okay. That's nice and all. But let's get it sequenced. Alright, so I've got a bass sequence going and some drums from the Assimilator, and now we're going to continue that idea of sequencing and see where it takes us. Bring in some wavetable modulation. Fucking nasty. Yeah. Let's go to morph mode. Morph the presets. Leave preset mode.
Yeah.
Just have it drone. Fucking wavetable sludge right here. I'm just fucking with the modulator. Yeah. It's really about that detuning. With a touch of FM. fucking sludgy as hell. Ugh. Just listen to that, wow. Piston Honda Mark III. The King of Wavetables. That was dope. This is the fucking King of Wavetables. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. Sludgy, crunchy, digital, grindy, metallic scraping. I'm all about that. This is what it's got. I haven't heard one that does it better. I would love to hear more. Anyway, as always, if you subscribe to my Patreon, today I got something special. You're gonna get the 8 custom wavetables I made for this, as well as samples from this jam and samples from every other jam I do. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. Don't forget to like and subscribe here as well. Peace out.